This is Marilyn Lohman, Service Hydrologist at WFO Pendleton. I will be reviewing the mountain snowpack and water supply forecasts for the Pendleton Forecast Area as of April 8, 2013. This map, produced by the Natural Resource Conservation Service, shows the percent of normal snow water equivalent, or the amount of water being held in the snowpack, for the various basins across the state of Washington. March was drier than normal across the region, with only a couple of strong storms during the month. This is reflected in the average basin snowpack. The lower Snake Basin remained nearly steady with snow water equivalent near 85% of normal, and in the Cascades the snow water equivalent decreased slightly, with amounts between 95 and 105% of normal. In the next few slides, we'll look at a few locations within the basins to see how they have changed. These charts show the snow water equivalent for the water year, October through September. The blue line is the maximum observed, while the red line is the minimum, with the green line the average. Using these charts, we can see how the snow water equivalent accumulates throughout the winter and spring and compare it to average. For this site, the Touchet Snotel site, it's in the Walla Basin, around 5,500 feet. Looking at the black line, we can see that there was some accumulation during the first part of the month, with a decrease occurring already during the last week. Overall, the snow water equivalent remains below normal. The Sasse Ridge Snotel site is located in the upper Yakima Basin at about 4,200 feet. Looking at the black line, we can see that there was little increase during the past month, with the overall snow water equivalent remaining below normal. The Bumping Ridge Snotel site at elevation 4,600 feet is in the central Washington Cascades. Once again, this area saw little overall accumulation during the month and continues to be slightly below normal. Across the Oregon portion of the Pendleton Forecast Area, snowpack decreased across the region, with the Grande, Ronde, Powder, Burnt, and Umatilla basins falling from 85% of normal last month to around 75% of normal as of April 1st. There was some decrease in the upper Deschutes and Crooked basins, with amounts lowering from 95% of normal to around 85%. The Grande Basin saw the most dramatic decrease, from around 90% of normal on March 1st to 60% of normal on April 1st, while the Umatilla Basin decreased from 85 to 75% of normal. We'll take a look at some individual sites within the basins in the next several slides. In the lower Columbia Basin, Clear Lake Snotel is at an elevation of 3,500 feet. Looking at the black line, the current year observation, this site saw little in the way of accumulation and actually started decreasing by the end of the month. In the upper Deschutes Basin, Three Creek Meadows Snotel site is around 5,600 feet. We can look at the solid black line and note that the site saw little accumulation during March, with the snow water equivalent well below normal. For the Grande Basin, we can look at the Blue Mountain Springs Snotel site. It is at 5,900 feet. This location shows a strong decrease during the last part of the month when we had well above normal temperatures. This site has been well below normal throughout much of the winter and spring. For the Umatilla Basin in the Blue Mountains, we can look at the High Ridge site at 4,900 feet. Looking at the black line, we can see that there was some accumulation throughout the month, but is decreasing by month's end and just slightly faster than normal. In the Grand Ronde Basin, the Moss Springs Snotel site at 5,800 feet shows a small increase during the first part of the month, and then a large increase during the mid part of the month. Overall, the snow water equivalent is still slightly below normal. The Northwest River Forecast Center uses Ensemble Streamflow Prediction, or ESP-generated forecasts, as the official water supply method. This year, new 30-year runoff normals covering the years 1981 to 2010 are being used. For all of the published locations, the updated normals are less than the 1971 to 2000 dataset. This is due to the relatively dry runoff period from 2001 to 2010. New ESP forecasts will be published on the Northwest River Forecast Center's website at a minimum of once per week, but may be updated daily at the discretion of the RFC. For updated forecasts and more information on ESP forecasts, please see the River Forecast Center's website at the address given. For the Yakima River system, we'll look at the Yakima River near Parker. Looking at the plot, the solid green line is the 30-year normal. The box plots show the entire range of forecast values, with the blue dot the 50th percentile or most likely value. We'll be using the 50th percentile and comparing it to normal. Currently, as of April 8th, the volume forecast for the Yakima River near Parker remains right around 115% of normal. The forecasted volume of water, the blue dot, for the Grande River near Troy is expected to be about 90% of average. The forecasts have trended down throughout much of March as below normal precipitation occurred during the last couple of months. For the Umatilla River at Pendleton, for the period April through September, the forecast volume has remained between 60 and 70% of normal. These lower values correspond to the below normal snowpack seen in the previous slides and the below normal precipitation over the last couple of months. The Columbia River at the Dells can be an indicator for the entire Columbia Basin. Once again, we see the average plotted in green with the most likely value, the blue dot. The volume for the April through September period has remained nearly steady around 95% of normal. The previous seen plots and additional water supply locations are available in an interactive form on the Northwest River Forecast Center's website at the address listed on the concluding slide. The 3-month outlook from the Climate Prediction Center for April, May, and June shows an increased chance of below normal temperatures and an increased chance of below normal precipitation, mainly over Oregon. The below normal temperatures could prove beneficial in preserving the current snowpack as we move into the snowmelt period. Once again, additional water supply forecasts and the interactive forecasts can be found at the Northwest River Forecast Center's webpage at the address listed. If you have any questions, please contact me by email or by the phone number listed here. Thanks again, and join me next month to see how the spring snowmelt season continues.